Ruby.
Actually, I'll just give a brief about this entire program, introduce you to the audience, and then I start.
Okay, so no need for share now, is it?
Yeah, I will be sharing presentation for the beginning.
Okay. Okay, go ahead now. So I have to take it away from. Okay.
Hi, morning. Ponapa joining in.
So अपन ऑप्शन अब दे सकते हैं ना कितने बजे जाती है यहाँ पर ये ऑप्शन दे सकते हैं आपको 4000 दे देते हैं यार आप करेंगे 150 रुपए ये ऐसे कितना मिलता है नहीं मालूम नहीं पूछा तो मैंने सोचा कौन हमारे टीम में मैंने कहा वहां पर ऊपर है बोले नहीं मैडम वो बात कर सकती हूँ यहाँ पे प्लस आपको और पैसे कमाने मैडम 2000 ना शाम को किसी के भी घर का फिर अभी डाले देखिए उससे बोला तो नहीं मैडम इतने तो कोई नहीं आया तो मैं रोटी बनाती हूँ 4000 5000 रुपए पेमेंट वो अलग चीज है मैंने वही तो बोला मैंने कहा 5-10 हजार चाहिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं बहुत चलता रह रहा है आपको ऑफिस अच्छा लग रहा है कस हो रहा है जरा सी मेरा चप्पल अगरबत्ती चप्पल
I hope I'm audible. Can somebody please confirm?
Yes,
Yeah.
I am able to hear you.
Yeah, you are audible.
Hello.
You are audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Great. So, yeah, a warm welcome to everybody from Coffee Board of India. Today, we are starting this session online series on coffee entrepreneurship in India under the ICO Special Fund project, operational here at Coffee Board. So, to begin with, ICO Special Fund project, let me introduce I am Rubia Nadaf, the project executive here. National this particular project for promotion of domestic consumption.
Rubia, can you please tell others to mute their mute? Can you please tell? Yeah.
And online programs in coffee business, in cafes, coffee quality management, coffee trading, these are already have been conducted by us. And today, conducted under this. And apart from that, we also are launching merchandises like coffee gift hamper in order to coffee consumption. And along with that, we are also, if you see, we are recently have been very much active on the social media, and we have been promoting different be it some general information of coffee. And we are also, these giveaway specials, Father's Day, Holi, Mother's Day, and we have sent out the hampers to people across India, be it to Kolkata, Bangalore, Hyderabad, many other places. So, coming to the objectives of this current series on coffee entrepreneurship. Introductory series on coffee entrepreneurship, which will throw lights upon the current scenario of the coffee industry in India, introducing aspiring entrepreneurs with a myriad of business opportunities in the coffee sector along the value chain from farm to cup, and ultimately by encouraging a 3-day series. First, the introduction that's being done right now, and this actual series will start with the introduction to coffee entrepreneurship. Second day, innovations in coffee, both beverage and non-beverage, followed by coffee shop management. And then the third day will be current market scenario in India. So coming to today's resource persons, these are the resource persons. The way today's session is being conducted by Dr. Sir, the former VC of US Bangalore. So let me give a brief introduction about Dr. Changappa sir. So he is one of the India's leading agricultural economists, and he has around 3 decades, 30 years of experience. Just a minute. So yes, he has 30 years of experience in teaching, research, extension, and academic education administration. So he has been the Vice Chancellor of University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore, and till recently he was the National Professor of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research at the Institute for Social Economic Change, Bangalore. He is also a policy economist specialized in the area of agribusiness and trade. He has been a member of the Working Group of Agricultural Marketing in the Planning Commission of India for preparing the 12th 5-year plan document. He has been a consultant to several international organizations, including International Food Policy Research Institute, Washington, International Plant Genetic Resource Institute, Rome, International Rice Research Institute, Manila, DSC, Germany, and also he is currently he has also been a consultant for a decade for Tata Coffee. And he is also a visiting professor to universities of Reading and Wales. He was the elect president of Indian Society of Agriculture Economics 2012 and president of the Agricultural Economic Review Association, New Delhi 2013 to 2016. And currently he is on the board of Sam Agritech Limited, Sam Agri Venture Limited, and also for the Tasty Bites Eatables Limited. So with that introduction, I would like to welcome Dr. P.G. Changappa sir to conduct today's session on Introduction to Coffee Entrepreneurship in India. Sir, you can share the screen, sir.
Okay, share. Able to see Rubia? Hello?
Yes, sir, we are able to see.
Yeah, we are able to see.
Able to see the presentation also, no?
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah. Thank you. I think some disturbance is there. I think Rubia, kindly look into that. There is some cross talking going on.
I think Madhapa and Rachana has to mute the mic.
Is it fine? Yeah. Shall I start? Rubia, shall I start?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Rubia, for the introduction provided. Friends, I also, it's a great opportunity to meet all of you who are, who want to know more about what's happening in the coffee industry. I just want to say that I also want to share my experience and also my involvement with the Tata Coffee as an independent director for the last 10 years, where I could do a lot of innovative things in the coffee sector. Well, friends, coming to this introduction, in this session, I would like to cover what is an entrepreneurship, meaning, the basic things about entrepreneurship, And though we are more concerned about the entrepreneurship in coffee or coffee industry, then prerequisites to start a business, developing a business plan, the global market scenario, just to find out, what kind of things are going on at the global level. Then also, for example, for any venture, I strongly feel that we must have a market appraisal before we start. And in this direction, I suggest that a rapid market the appraisal has to be done by the entrepreneur himself. You can do a quick market appraisal so that you are confident, but for a detailed project report, etc., you can get a marketing survey done. So we normally use an SCP model, that is structure, conduct, and performance approach. It's very simple. Anybody can do it. You need not be an economist or a marketing specialist. The coffee, then entrepreneur opportunities and conclusion. Well, friends, coming to the meaning of entrepreneurship, it was in the way back in 13th century. The word entrepreneur is derived from the French word the entrepreneur, meaning to do something or to undertake something. It's a very, very broad kind of meaning. Then, of course, can you please share the full screen? Yes, I will do that. Okay, how to do it? I'll do it. Yes, somebody has indicated that I must go for a full screen, right? Okay, is it a full screen now? Can
we have the second slide, please, sir? Could not see it, sir.
Okay. That's mainly the outline. That's about the outline of my talk. Is it fine?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So the second one, the next thing is, can we really entrepreneurs? It's a very broad term. We normally use entrepreneurship in the day-to-day life. In any agribusiness, we use this word. Well, of course, the important traits are, you must have a passion. Certainly, if you want to be an entrepreneur, passion in that particular line of business is a must. You must have a passion. Second is the risk-taking ability. This is where the entrepreneur is distinguished from a manager or others. Then the persistent nature, because in any business, you may come out with some failures and success. The failures has to be persistently taken forward and see that you succeed. Then, of course, innovation is the key. Innovation in terms of production, process, and organizational setup, etc. This innovation is key. Then the other one is, as an entrepreneur, you must lead from the front. Most of the success stories we have seen, and leading from the front is the important thing. Then, of course, nowadays, lot of ethical issues in business are being handled. You have seen the corporate social responsibility or the ESG, etc., emerging as big thing in any business, and coffee is no exception. We have seen what is happening about the sustainability part of the coffee business, which I will be touching. Then the entrepreneurship versus manager. Well, this I just wanted to have a distinction. For example, people really confuse who's an entrepreneur and who's a manager. Entrepreneur is a person with skills, ideas, courage, etc. To undertake a business or to pursue a business. But a manager is a person who manages the functions and operations of an organization. And the main difference is the role in an organization. An entrepreneur owns a company, while a manager is an employee. The entrepreneur owns a business. He starts a business. He scales it up. The process, a lot of risk come in. These are all borne by an entrepreneur. But a manager is given a task, he performs it, and he is an employee. That's where the organizational difference comes in. Entrepreneur is a risk taker, while manager is not to take so much of risk. He has been given certain levels through which he operates, and he performs, and he has got his own strategy to fulfill it. Then an entrepreneur is the company's CEO, I just want to give an idea. From a manager, I bring the term CEO, Chief Executive Officer, who establishes the company. The word establishes is important. He is the one who starts the company, establishes the company, and takes the business risks to gain profits. Certainly, an entrepreneur also has a lot of managerial ability, but there's a clear distinction between an entrepreneur and a manager. The entrepreneur is the one who starts. For example, he can be a good manager can emerge as a good manager, good CEO of an established business. If you start your own, then you become an entrepreneur. Then prerequisites to start a business for an agribusiness or a coffee business. First is you choose or firm up your business idea. For example, when I was in the Tata Coffee, the idea of a instant coffee, to expand the instant coffee operations to spray dried and all kinds of instant coffee, we had a lot of discussion, and in the process, even to where to start, whether to India or elsewhere. Then as people know, Tata Coffee is one of the leading exporters of coffee beans from India, and we are also an important importer of coffee. We import a lot of coffee from Vietnam because the coffee is cheaper there, at least 10 to 15% cheaper. So one of the points we discussed is why not we locate it in Vietnam, so that we have the relative advantage in sourcing the material, and also there are a lot of concession given by the Vietnam government, etc. So in this kind of this thing, we'll have to choose firm of your business idea. There are a lot of innovative business ideas. You'll have to firm it up. Then conduct a thorough market research. I always drive this point in any business, agribusiness. Market is the prerequisite, and market is the game changer. Market is the winner, and then we need to prepare a business plan. We'll have to really work out a rough business plan. Need not have to really prepare a detailed business plan, but a rough business plan to both looking into the input side and the output side of the market, the output side of the market, and also the whole organizational finance and other things. It need not be a very elaborate one. I would say a concept note which can be expanded. Then they secure the funding for your business. It is, either how much is your own, how much is the borrowing, how much is the venture capital you are looking forward, etc. Then they choose your business structure. This is very key. For example, you may not be able to start very big, but you will have to keep, what kind of structure you have. Then, of course, the formalities, registering your business as an individual firm, or as a proprietor, or as a company, etc., or a limited partnership, limited liability partnership group, etc. Then apply for licenses, whatever is required, it has to be done. Then a bank account in the name of the company, and prepare a launch. This also has to be really well thought, when to really launch. Then prepare a business plan. It's what I just said in the beginning. Just prepare a business plan, hardly, like a concept note. Then we need to expand it. Then we need to prepare a real business plan for action. That is, the overall, what kind of organization we need to have. For example, I am involved with another company called Sam Agri in Hyderabad. Till now, I used to be the chairman of this company. This company, we were mainly in the export of pomegranate aerials. Mr. Naidu is one of the major promoter of this company. We are into the business of exporting of pomegranate aerials. As on today, we are number one in India in terms of export of aerials. We have been thinking that this business, this was a niche business about 8 to 10 years back. We have been stating that this business is no longer a niche. There are many other players. We need to think something. And in the process, we decided to get into avocado. In fact, now we are number one in avocado in India. In the sense, we have both backward integration and forward integration. We have introduced avocado. Even in the Tata Coffee, we have we started avocado in about 400 acres. So we see in this kind of business, we must really see what is the organization, the company thinks about the kind of business and clear business goals, whether to have in only, for example, when we started into avocado, we first thought we'll have only identify some local producers, have contract system of for production. Now we also expanded, said we started importing, and the last year we imported about 4,000 tons of avocado. So the business goals, whether locally, nationally, internationally, and what kind of and what is the goals, has to be very clear. The market research, then this is again, I emphasize market research, because you need to understand the market before really getting into the production or before getting into the action. Then the internal organization chart has to be very clear, who should be there. We cannot have large number of people in the beginning, but we need to have the minimum number of people. Certainly, as an entrepreneur, your role, you may be a CEO or a proprietor of the company. Who else should be there from the production side, marketing side, finance side, etc. Then services and product offerings. What kind of service and product offerings? As I rightly said, when we moved into avocado, we started importing the plants from Israel. Now we are also importing from South Africa, and we have tied up with Westphalia, and there is a new company has been formed, Westin AO, that is the Westphalia and the Samagri put together. Like this, we are providing services. For example, we provide not only the planting material but full technical backup, and also the contract to buy back the product. That's why the services, product offerings, and what kind of things has to be very clear. And the marketing and the sales plan should be very clear. For example, whether to market domestically or market elsewhere. Domestically means which are the targeted markets. For example, always Bangalore, Delhi, there's Gurgaon, Mumbai. These are all the markets where the response is always very high. Then the funding requirements very clear. We'll have to see what kind of funding requirement is there, because the borrowing is a tough task, and the interest levels are quite high. So we will have to really think. And the financial projections has to be very clear. That is the short term, medium term, long term, and quarter wise. Each quarter, what can be done based on that. Your activities can be fine tuned. Then now I'm really coming to understand the entrepreneurship in coffee, friends. Before really getting into the entrepreneurship in coffee, let us understand the cup of the coffee. I have indicated. You see, for example, you have seen a 2.5 pound cup of coffee. That is a coffee costing 2.5 pounds. You just see the breakup. How is it goes? And you have seen the coffee forms only 0.10 pence, or it's about 10, 10 pence, less than 10 pence. Then the staff wages, etc., 0.063, shops 0.88, and the tax about 0.38. The profit is about 0.25 for one cup of coffee sold at 2 pounds. And you find that in the whole process, the producer share, what you normally use the word, the producer share in the consumer rupee forms only 1%. As a coffee grower, you get only 1% of the final retail price that happens in the international market. This has to be really kept in mind. See, most often we say, for example, in the Indian context, we say the marketing efficiency is measured in terms of the producer share in the consumer rupee. Here you find the producer share in the consumer rupee is too low, but you must understand that the various value addition activities were formed across the market channel or across the value chain. So naturally, there are so many players who have their own costs, their own margin. So the appropriation of the retail price at retail level happens, and as such, the producer share in the consumer rupee is low. On the right side, see, for example, the 0.10 pence, that the coffee cost, that the coffee cost of one cup of coffee at 2.50 pounds is, if you see, the grower is 1 pen. Then of course the pen is a singular one, the singular, and pens is is a in a plural. So what happens is here also, you see, if you just see the money lies here also in the roasters, the ground and roasted coffee. That's the where the actually the money lies. Not even the exporters, the transporters, etc. But the normally in the whole chain, if you really find the roast and ground sector,
Sir, can
well,
excuse me,
different etc. Etc. See, for example, the ground and roast, that segment has got the good margin. Yeah. Global coffee market. Again, some disturbance. Hello. Okay. So first, let's have a.
Chengabu sir, this is Anand here. So can you please go back to the slide and explain it again? I was not able to understand properly. Yes, this economics behind
first understand the left side, Anand. Yeah. First, kindly look into the left side of the one where the breakdown for 2.50 pound is given. Is it fine, Anand?
Yes.
Because there are given the wages, the shops, the tax. These are other numbers. You can look into it later. But these are the components of the final retail price what they pay, right? And the right side is about the coffee. If you see in the cup of coffee, the coffee is 0.10 is 10, and that 10 is the details of that is given on the right side. And what you find is the coffee cost, the 10 pence or the 0.10 this thing. How is it split? I just said the roast and ground segment is most important. Then of course the transportation, etc. But finally, what we infer from this is the producer share and the grower share, the coffee grower share in the final consumer rupees is less than or hardly 1%. Is it fine, Anand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, yeah, in rupees, it would have been good actually, the explanation in the rupee breakup.
I don't have the data.
Yes.
You will also
we can relate very easily, and it would have.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have the.
Now we have to break up this into rupees. Yeah, that becomes.
No, yes.
The presentation is good, but I think the cost of sugar is missing somewhere.
No, it is there. Milk is there. The milk is there, and the sugar is not added. I think the milk is there. Okay.
Yeah. So okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. No, you see the numbers later, but only I just give the different components in the retail price. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I agree with the one of the observation made. It with the Indian context would have given a much better picture, but I really do not have the data. Okay.
Okay, fine, sir.
Yeah. So the friends, to get a flair about the global coffee market, when we talk about the global market, it is segmented by the product type, which most of us know. That is the whole green or the whole bean, or we call it as the green coffee. Then of course the ground coffee, the roasted grounds is the most important sector that plays, that directly touches the consumers. So then the instant coffee, which is now becoming much more popular, especially after the pandemic, because of many reasons like convenience, etc. See, for example, the instant coffee is becoming much bigger in the international coffee market. Then, of course, the coffee market is again segmented by distribution channel, that is online trade and offline trade. Then in the offline trade, we have the supermarkets, the hypermarkets or the supermarkets, etc. What you will find, the chains, then the convenience stores, specialist retailers, and other channels.
Singapore sir, this is this another doubt. Are you recording this training?
No, sorry, I cannot hear, Anand.
Are we recording this training session?
Yeah, I think so. And moreover, I have sent the presentation to Rubia.
Sir, it is being recorded and the entire recorded session will be uploaded on the official YouTube channel of Coffee Board after the completion of the entire series.
Thank you, Rubia. Thank you, Rubia. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Then, of course, I mentioned about the online and the offline. If you really look at it, how the global coffee market by distribution channel, with the projection even up to 2029, you see the offline is important, but at the same time, the online is also moving in the same direction. Both offline and online continues to be important as far as the distribution channel for coffee is concerned. Then, I mentioned in the beginning itself, we need to do a market appraisal, a must for entrepreneurship. Market is the prerequisite, market is the driver, market is the whole all. Otherwise, you cannot really succeed. Well, in the changing context, that is nowadays we talk everything is whether demand driven and market driven. So even you talk as a coffee entrepreneur also, you must understand the demand first, or the kind of the market that exists for a product or a process or a service. It can be either a product, or it can be a process, or it can be providing a services. We must really understand from the market perspective. And the first and foremost is understand the market from both from the input and the output side. For example, if you really want to go for coffee growing, you will have to really look at it, whether right from the land cost to the whole thing, we'll have to really work out from both the input, then also the output side. And what happens when you sell the product, through different channels, etc., has to be seen. Then, of course, most of us, we think, from outward in a very generalistic way, we say there is an existence of market. The markets do exist. We agree. Anywhere, even in a poor country, market for poor, we use the word. Even anywhere, there exists. And we use the word market for poor also. So everywhere, the market exists. But the right kind of market is important. So if you assume that there is already an existence of market is assumed, you will make really a big mistake, because the market wants a different one and you are in a different line. So be very clear what the market really wants. And that means the market do exist, but right products, right processes to be developed. As I indicated, the market is moving more towards instant coffee. Market is moving more towards sustainable coffee. Now, certainly, this has to be really understood. Then, importantly, the products have a limited life cycle. See, for example, in marketing or in management, all of us talk about the product life cycle, which I will show the figure next time, the next slide. For example, we'll have to keep this in mind. Every product has its own life cycle. And the stages in the life cycle can be postponed. Like, in production, we talk about the law of diminishing returns. The same thing, even in market, the PLC is there, and this has to be kept in mind. Then the product market pass through distinct stages, each posing different challenges, opportunities, and problems. In the product life cycle, different stages are there. We also must understand when we get into a agribusiness or coffee business, etc., you will have to see what are the problems and what kind of solutions can be thought about. Then the profit rise, fall at different stages of product life cycle. and require different marketing, financial, manufacturing, purchasing, and human resource strategies. This is where the strategy has to be developed at the different stages in the marketing. That is why the product life cycle has to be kept in mind. To understand market environment and to position yourself in a positive manner, the market should be understood. This is a prerequisite for anyone getting into the coffee business. Well, friends, I mentioned the product life cycle, which some of you are quite aware. In any, given the time and the sales or the market expansion that takes place, first is the introduction stage. You introduce, and you see there will be a growth stage. It grows, at a much faster state. In the initial stages, you will find the growth is at a faster level, at a much higher speed. Then we reach a maturity. That means we reach a stagnation. This happens in any business. The only thing is, as I indicated, different strategies has to be employed to see that whether the stage can be shifted. Like the law of diminishing returns operates in production. By technological interventions, we shift the diminishing to a different by few years, by some period. The same thing applies here also. By interventions, you can shift this maturity, or you can manage the growth. Then the decline starts. This is where we have to be very careful. What kind of strategy should be there to prevent the decline of your market, to prevent the decline in the market. This has to be really thought. Of course, usually when we do a survey of a market, I mentioned in the beginning, you can have a rapid market survey by yourself. You have to understand. Otherwise, without a proper understanding of the market, I caution you, please don't get into those kind of business. See, for example, first the marketing mix, what we call the 4 P's in management, because these are jargons, but these are also quite useful. When you talk about a product, for example, now we were also in the Tata Coffee, we were also contemplating about a new product like a liquid coffee. And liquid coffee, we are already come in the market. When we talk about this kind of new product, it has to be really understood with the existing products we handle. In Tata Coffee, we are the leading exporters of green coffee. We are also the leading exporters of instant coffee. And we also the exporters of, we produce a lot of, pepper and other things. So when this kind of product combinations are there, we'll have to think this product, not in isolation, but keeping in mind the existing product. Then also the market is the driver. We'll have to really understand where. Then this product has to be seen who else are there. Now many players have come into the liquid coffee, etc. Then the pricing, it has to be really seen. Normally you have seen, for example, whether normally monopoly situation can exist only for a very small period of time where you can charge your own price. After some point of time, then there may be two-seller duopoly situation may come. After some point of time, a oligopoly situation may come where there are few players. When there are few players in the market, normally they follow what is called as a price leader and a price follower. That means the major one decides the price, others follow. For example, you take the milk marketing in Karnataka. The KMF is the price leader, others follow. This kind of pricing strategy appears. What I say is you must understand this by yourself. What kind of product, what kind of pricing strategy, what kind of promotion has to be made, because a new product, market education is very important. And nowadays, whether it should be a B2B business or a B2C business. If it's a B2C, the kind of investment required is quite huge. So this has to be understood in that perspective. Then, of course, the place here refers to the market, and which market. That's also important. When we do a test market, we have to do a test market, and we'll have to see the response. And once you do the test market, and whether it can be replicated in other markets by ourselves or by a different model, B2B, B2C, etc., etc. See, for example, in Tata Coffee, we always talk. For example, we have a strong network of distributors for our other products. We always rely upon that distribution network. So place is a very key, in understanding the marketing mix or the market for the product as a whole. So what you see, the process of marketing is what is about what. It is understanding what the people need, what the people want, and the need and the want creates the demand. So we need to, in order to understand the demand, we need to know what kind of, what is the need, what is what is the demand of for that. Then right products, services to satisfy wants and needs. Again, the pandemic has taught us a lesson. People wanted, they were all, segregated in their houses, and people were looking for products. For example, that's how even in coffee, 2-in-1, 3-in-1, instant, etc., had its own market, and that continues because still the work from home, etc., this continues. So the right products has to be taught, right services has to be taught. Now you see, for example, even in coffee, people want the coffee sold, the kind of coffee sold in cafe to be available at the home. This is a reality, and for that we'll have to think what kind of services has to be provided. This is all interrelated, and this is just to satisfy the demand of the consumers. Now, offering the product services at a place where people can buy them. That's what I said. If it is needed at home, we'll have to work out. That's how with the internet, the ICT has become an important tool in marketing, and the web marketing, etc., is all catching up. Building interesting stories on process, products, and ethical practice is very important because, as I indicated, the ethical issues in business has taken a forefront. It is not really the CRS is a different aspect. The undertaking CRS, that is the corporate social responsibility, but here it's more than that. That is the ethical practices. For example, you have seen using a child labor, or using exploitation of the labor, exploitation of the environment. These are all become an important component what the buyers are looking forward, and there are people who are willing to pay premium for those products. Just 3 days back, our Honorable Prime Minister mentioned about the Araku coffee, and the Araku coffee, the way it is sold, you have seen what kind of stories have been built. Marketing, my dear friends, marketing is creation of stories, and the selling of the product using those stories. You will have to build up good stories. The story is very important. Then the certification and authentication has emerged in a big way. For example, certification and authentication is, to consume, the consumers look for validation. If you claim, even, self-certification is acceptable. But once your self-certification fails, you'll fail very badly. That is why third-party certification and authentications are.
आज बना दे सामान ले गया वो बंदा
Okay, then the vertical integration in the marketing, that is the same organization doing different functions in marketing, that is procurement, processing, packing, etc., to the level of vertical integration has to be understood. Then aggressive marketing, that is market promotion, has to be thought of. Some budget has to be there because the consumers has to be educated. So the process of marketing is a very, very well lit activities which are directed at satisfying the human needs and wants through an exchange process. So these are some of the elements I just mentioned. So a clear understanding of the market potential of the product, develop effective strategies and plans for implementation. That has to be really thought about it. Then I mentioned, just mentioned that the entrepreneur himself should be able to rapid market appraisal before really deciding on the product, process, or the service which he is going to embark as a business venture. Well, the RMA is a simple tool I just want to drive home. Rapid market appraisal. This uses what you call as an approach called structure of the market, the conduct of the market, the performance of the market. So this is a simple approach which is put as a rapid market appraisal. In the rapid market appraisal, these three components are used. That means, as an entrepreneur, you need to understand what is the structure of the market. If you are looking for some 3-in-1 coffee, what is the existing structure? And what do you mean by structure? Structure indicates organizational characteristics of marketing system, influencing the nature of competition and pricing within the system. Well, this involves who are the market participants. That means the whole supply chain or the value chain has to be understood. Who are the aggregators, who are the wholesalers, retailers, packers, so on and so forth. So the whole market participants has to be understood. Because tomorrow you may do it on your own, or you may put a third party to do it on your behalf. But you must have at least a simple understanding, but an in-depth understanding can be had later. And the market share and functional importance. In any business, the success is seen to what extent you have the market share. And the companies or the corporations look for growing their market share, over a period of time. And for that, they employ many strategies. Market share is a real indicator of how you are doing in the market. Then market share and who dominates the market. This is also important. For example, people like Tata Coffee, Nestle is there, and even a local players, Narsu, for example, is there, roasted ground coffee. And you have seen in certain pockets, the small players are, they dominate the market. For example, if you take the retailing of the coffee, see, for example, Tata Coffee was never in the retailing in the domestic market in the last 2 years. They are aggressively in the domestic market, and you have seen most of the retailing is seen in the southern states, particularly in the northern, particularly in the Tamil Nadu. Now there are efforts made to capture the retail markets or to enter the retail, develop and enter the retail markets the upcountry market in the North Indian markets. And the other one, when you look at the structure, is the market channels, which are the alternate paths, even for sourcing the product. From which source, directly sourcing from the producer is difficult because this usually is producers small in number, but producing from from the source of production is important, but it cannot be done, from one person or one distinct, but there will be group of people. So suddenly the alternate ways, even for disposing of your product, there are different channels by which you can dispose, and which of the existing channels can be used by you, right? And who are the players in these channels? There may be aggregators, there may be wholesalers, there may be primary wholesalers, secondary wholesalers, and also the traders, and even the process, there are commission agents. How do you use it? Then the conditions of entry. For example, there are a lot of barriers to entry, into the market. One is the technology. Unless you have the technology, because for example, if you take coffee, most of the patents are owned by Nestle. Even in instant coffee, etc., or even many of those extractions, etc. So the technology is an important barrier. Whether it is freely available or we'll have to pay some royalty, etc., has to be seen. Then, of course, the capital. Some of this requires huge capital. So this has to be understood. I'm again talking about the market structure. Then the market transparency, that is, asymmetry in market information. This is often seen in the dissemination of the prices of the market. We have seen, all of us, we watch the market. I day in and day out. Hello? Pardon? I don't know, somebody's. Okay. the market information day in and day out. For example, we are all watching about the prices of the coffee, and we all depend upon the London terminal as well as the New York terminal, and we really watch, and we have seen the wide fluctuations in the coffee prices. And more than anything else, even the prices are available. It's sometimes not available. It's not available for use by us. So this kind of asymmetry in information can lead to market imperfections. And then, of course, the product differentiation, that is branding and certification. This has emerged emerged very important in coffee, branding and certification. As I indicated, self-certification, there's possibility is there, but third-party certification is more valid because it is certified based on certain process, etc. So the third-party certification is very common. Then, of course, the branding of the product, it gives you, so branding creates your own. You own the product, you own the brand. That means you own the product. Based on those branding characters. So the market structure is, who are the important players, who commands the market, what are the barriers for entry and exit, and what level of competition, whether it's a perfect market or an imperfect competition, with less competition, then nature of pricing and the market information system. This is what the structure broadly means. This, all of us, I always say, it doesn't need much intelligence. It's more of common sense and observation. So you can have your own, your own assessment and your own. You can see what the market is like. Then the market conduct. It refers to the pattern of behavior which market participants follow in adapting to markets in which they buy or sell. Because we buy inputs, we sell our output. Then this consists of strategies of selling through an existing channel or through a new channel, or making use of the commission agents, etc. Strategies of buying, whether by because the raw material is needed throughout the year, we will have to plan the buying this time. Then the pricing strategies, as I indicated, what kind of prices, whether we should be a price follower, because for newcomers it's very difficult to become the price leaders, or whether you have a cost competitiveness to sell at a price which are very competitive. Then the innovations, what kind of innovations, innovations in the product development, in innovations in even in the marketing channel, etc., can be thought about. Ultimately, we'll have to see your own performance in the market, and the performance in the market can be, the market performance indicates how good or bad is your marketing. And this market performance is seen in relative terms, in terms of efficiency. For example, A is efficient to B if his cost is lower, let's say, or A is efficient to B if his margins are higher. Like this, some kind of you'll have to compare and arrive at it. Then the effectiveness, to what extent you have made a dent in the market. The market margins really reflect, because market margin is the one which leads to the profit. The kind of price risk, how to mitigate the price risk, is very important. Then, of course, the integration, that is vertically integrate the activities, and horizontal integration, in the distribution of the product. Approach, the various approaches in marketing. Normally, for a rapid market survey, I'm talking, not a very structured survey, I'm talking. But as a entrepreneur, you can make market visits, make observations, because seeing is believing. Then we can have learning journeys. You can see what is really happening. If there is a product as a good market in the particular region, we'll have to really understand why is it, so that we can have a learning journey. Then we can have structured interviews. This is a little higher level of market surveys done, using structured interviews, schedules, questionnaires, or the mail questions, etc. Then the focus group discussion, this can be thought about. For example, you have distributors. If you want to have a focus group discussion involving only those. Then the market mapping. Market mapping is important. We'll have to see the product as all markets will not have the same kind of demand. we'll have to identify the most potential, average and less potential markets, and we will have to target those markets which are highly potential. Then the product ranking and prioritization, this happens. This happens because once you have 3 or products you have put in your hand, you'll have to see with the product ranking and the prioritization based on the kind of capital, the kind of strength you have in the market. And of course, usually an entrepreneur should undertake a SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opportunities? What are your threats? This, you can easily do, because when you are as an entrepreneur, you will gather maximum information, and this kind of analysis is a must. And when we do a market analysis, normally we'll do a trend. We see, for example, we say we use a production trend or a price trend. See, for example, all of us have been watching the price trend for coffee in the last 6 months. What has happened? The trend in prices, it is increasing, but the volatility has also increased, and that puts us in a dilemma. For example, I myself is a grower. I'm holding stock of my Robusta coffee for the last so many months. I've just sold about 35% of coffee. I watch the market. I really use the trend analysis. I also use the irregular movements. What happens? Even we have now, all of us have access to prices. Then the market volume and share analysis. This has to be done on a day-to-day basis. See, for example, for example, you have seen some of these Marwadis, etc., operating in a business. He has a balance sheet for every day. And he feels, whether his share and volume is coming down, etc., etc. So this has to be also be thought. Then the profitability and the margin analysis. Certainly, in a competitive market, the margins cannot be very high. We say, the profitable, we use the word normal profit. That means you will have to, your margin has to be, it cannot be very high, which, or your profit cannot be very high because there are other competitors, etc. So the margin margin analysis has to be. And this margin, for example, normally we do a gross margin analysis vis-a-vis with the competitor. I know it's very difficult to get the data, full data, but gross margin can be, we have the prices, procurement prices, sale price, the cost, etc. So a rough margin can be arrived. Then the projection and forecast, this is also important. Whether this kind of margins and the profits, whether will continue. What will happen to the cost of production, whether it is increasing, decreasing, or constant. Certainly the input prices, usually in agriculture or the agribusiness, the input costs keep rising, the output costs don't move so much, etc. So we'll have to really think even cost optimization. That's why these projections are important. Then the problems, certainly in any business, problem is a part of the game. So normally, if there is a problem, we do a root cause analysis. This root cause analysis will have to go we must have a deep dive and see what kind of this thing. This can be done. Then scenario building. Friends, in any business, when you develop a business plan, you must have 2 plans. One is a plan A and the plan B. Plan A is the one you are trying to do it. If the plan A is not able to do because you may not be able to get the technology, or you may not be able to get the finance, or you may not have the kind of the kind of resource person, etc., to do it. So have a plan B. So you can put the plan B into action, then we can move to the plan A later. Well, friends, coming particularly to the coffee entrepreneurship, the opportunities based on my own experience as a grower, based on my experience in Tata Coffee, based on my experience in other agribusiness, because I am at least involved with about 5 3 public limited companies and about 2 private companies, in agribusiness. So I just thought I will share. We know that coffee is a massive global industry, and coffee consumption in India is also expanding. May not be at the same rate as what you find elsewhere, but it is expanding. But in India, traditionally, chai is the major beverage, and coffee is next to this. But a stage has come that we should expand our domestic consumption of coffee, because totally depending on the export may not be a good idea. So in this context, we have a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities in coffee. For example, this is my own experience. For example, the entrepreneurial opportunities in field or coffee farming. One is the yield related. For example, if you are already, in coffee production, etc., the coffee yields in India are much lower as compared to many other countries. For example, nowadays a stage has come. In the last 2 years, the prices are good. Otherwise, we are, most of the plantations were under the negative profit. For example, even in more than coffee, even in tea today, most of the tea plantations are under loss. And the coffee, the last 2 years, the prices are good, but major thing is, one is the market related, the second is our yield. Our yields have stagnated. I was looking at the yield, the growth in yield, because of that the growth in production is a negative, because we are not able to we achieve a growth in productivity of both Arabica and Robusta, and Arabica is a worst sufferer. The growth in productivity, now I'm not talking production, because production might also happen because of the expansion of area, but the growth in productivity both in Arabica and Robusta is stagnated. There's a stagnation, or we have reached a plateau. So in order to break this, we'll have to really move for precision farming. This is also one of the entrepreneurial opportunities, because we have seen in our own thing, there are growers who easily take 1 ton per acre of coffee. The number may be small, but it's possible. For example, 40 bags of Robusta is possible. Even I have done it personally, but continuously it may not be possible. See, for example, this experience I was seeing in the sugarcane production in Maharashtra. In fact, there the growers, they have formed a 100-ton club, and they say their discussion is only on how to reach 100 ton per acre. This is the kind of target they keep, and they form groups and try to achieve this. And this is possible using precision farming for water management, nutrition management, or the whole soil management, things like that. Then, of course, the specialty coffee. Certainly, the specialty coffee provides opportunity for product differentiation. At least you differentiate the coffee in the eyes of the consumers by the specialty characters identified. We have a lot of Mysore Nugget to many other specialty coffee. This is a good move that the coffee board is also supporting the coffee specialty coffee, but still long way to go. I find a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities for specialty coffee. Production, processing, marketing, it includes everything. Then, of course, the organic coffee. Organic coffee, we are even Tata Coffee, we are also important producers of organic coffee. There are many organic coffee growers. One of the major problem I saw in organic coffee is, if you want to convert the existing plantation to organic, it is very difficult, because the yields drop drastically, and to pick up the yields with only organic raw material is very difficult. Moreover, when you buy the organic raw material, the cost of production goes up. If you have your own organic raw material, then we can think about it. But thus, the organic coffee production is possible for small growers, etc., who can have their own organic input. Otherwise, if you buy, for example, biopesticide, etc., biofertilizer, etc., they are very expensive. Then the estate virgin, This is another way for the specialty coffee, the shade grown coffee, the bird friendly coffee, monsoon coffee. These are all, which are in demand in the global market. Not that high in our domestic market because the product differentiation and the consumer preference, is not that high because the consumer base is small in India, but it's expanding. We have seen a lot of young people, the cafe culture, they are looking forward for this kind of this thing. In this direction, since we are talking about coffee entrepreneurship, certification is one entrepreneurship activity that can be really looked into because the certification for, as I indicated, the third party certification is very essential for buyers elsewhere. This is one activity. Then of course nowadays a lot of talk is going on carbon credit and carbon market in agriculture. I also very deeply look into this. I'm also associated with some group, but as I know, still so far, no farmer has been. Some have got the carbon credit, but they are not able to do carbon. The sale of carbon or trading of carbon. But I must mention, the Tata Coffee, we have created a sustainable platform across the companies. For example, Tata Coffee, we are carbon negative, but there are many other Tata groups which are carbon positive, so we can easily offset. To that extent, carbon trading can take place. But carbon trading has a lot of future, and there are a lot of entrepreneurship activities happening in carbon trading. These are. Then of course ecotourism. Ecotourism, we have seen. This is another way of diversifying the coffee enterprise. That is, people who can move towards ecotourism, they can get additional income. And there are a lot of success stories, but of course a lot of issues are there, and you have seen, especially in the Western Ghats, there's ecotourism, creating problems also is there. And of course, coffee entrepreneurship continues in the post-harvest on the market side. For example, I've seen, I closely watch people doing the aggregation of ripe coffee and pulping. I myself tried with one of the person. He has is an engineer returned from Gulf. He approached me. He said he would buy my Robusta coffee, and he has his own pulping unit. He has hired 2-3 pulping units, and etc. He aggregates ripe coffee, and he does himself. And there are other aggregators who aggregate and give it to others. This is an activity which hitherto was not seen earlier, but this is catching up. Even Tata Coffee, we buy rice coffee in a big way, about 4,000 to 5,000 tons, and we do that's for our own. So, but the aggregation of ripe coffee is one of the activities that's catching up, and the aggregation for exporters. This is both, that is mainly the cherry or the pulped coffee, etc. Then the roasting and ground coffee. This is the important segment where India is not at all a player. For example, the export earnings from this particular vertical is very low, and certainly this is because mainly roasting ground, the roast and ground and branding goes together, and along with this the blending happens. Certain times you kindly look into the FAO statistics, etc. You will find that Germany, Italy, etc. are making huge money by exporting coffee. They don't produce coffee, but they do value addition. They have this roast, ground, and branding, and they export, through which, that means through the export of coffee, they make huge money. Certainly this is the kind of changes seen in the markets. What's happening. Then I indicated about the online trading. Online trading will happen much more because there are many big players who have entered into this online trading, and coffee is no exception. Then the value chain enabler. For example, in coffee value chain, we have seen a lot of opportunities, to bring in the small farmers into the value chain, those who cannot get the value addition benefit in the market channel for coffee. So efforts to organize the small growers, and bring them into the to the higher end of the value chain, there is a vast scope to act as a value chain enabler. Well, it is not seen in a big way, but this also is an opportunity. Then, of course, the retailing, this is the one segment. People like Tata or even many others, Ambani's, etc., getting into retailing, because in any commodity, the margin at the retail level is very high. But normally, the retailers have, compared to the wholesalers, etc., the quantity handled by them is low. Vis-a-vis their gross profit earned will be less. But the margin per se at the retail level is very high. And coffee is no exception. And that's why a lot of efforts are happening at the retailing level, etc. And there's a vast scope, and people can use Amazon, etc. Through them you can operate, but they're also they keep a very high level of margin. But we'll have to really see how the retailing, large scale retailing, not small scale retailing, large scale retailing can be done, by undertaking the right kind of entrepreneurs. Of course, I just indicated earlier also the rapidly growing coffee market. And then I put my hand to see how much the value of the Indian coffee market. Somewhere I saw this Custom Market Insights. One of the recent study has shown that the Indian coffee market is valued at $478 million into 2022, which is expected to reach 1,000, more than 3 times, 1,227 million by 2032, implying a compound annual growth rate of 9.87%. A growth rate of around 10% in any market is a good number, and that indicates a lot of opportunities for agribusiness activities with this kind of growth rate. That means the market is growing at that level, and there are many marketing activities, and the entrepreneurs have to choose the right kind of marketing activity. And of course, the growing market is driven by younger coffee drinkers. While most adults drink coffee, that's for example, people like me, I would prefer anywhere drinking a filter coffee, not even any other type of cappuccino, etc. I would prefer. But millennials and Generation Z drive innovation within the coffee market, and this number is quite big in India. So certainly, from the demand side, the entrepreneurs, are in a good position. The demand is certainly increasing in terms of consumption level. But actually, we do not. I was looking into this. What is the real per capita consumption of coffee at the different age groups, or in the demographic groups, or in the income groups? We really do not have study, but there are indications the generation N is pushing with the coffee consumption. Then the lifestyle choices. Coffee has become a trendy and versatile beverage compatible with various flavors now. For example, the young population you have seen in the ice cream market. I wonder. I cannot name more than 5 types of ice creams, but there are umpteen number of ice creams flavors. The same kind of trend is seen in beverages. Various flavors and non-dairy milks, making it popular across different age groups and culture. For example, the lifestyle. Then expanding cafe culture, thanks to many of these entrepreneurs, they have shown that coffee cafe are feasible in the Indian market. But still, Starbucks is there. But I want to share with you, Starbucks with about 700 stores still, in India, Starbucks is not making profit. They are yet to make profit because they are very huge investments. But in the years to come, Starbucks will make profit. We have many other small, medium, type. Certainly, this cafe culture is expanding. The geographic growth. Now, coffee consumption is mainly, concentrated in the southern states of India. But you find that coffee culture is coffee consumption is going high in in the major cities, because in the cafes is not only chai but coffee with other kind of these things is offered. That's why the geographic growth is seen, especially in tier 1 cities, which will percolate to tier 2 cities. And also in India, one is the population is young, second is income levels are increasing, third, people looking for convenience. All these are in favor of expanding the coffee market. Then trendy new coffee products. Friends, it may overlap with some other session, but since I'm talking about the coffee marketing, that is entrepreneurship in coffee market, one is the caffeine reduction is a notable trend, and low caffeine varieties like Hermosa, Lorena, and coffee eugenioids have been identified as potential for low caffeine varieties, but the availability levels are at a low level. But these are for the future. Then the low caffeine version is called as a half cough, or split shot, which are blends of caffeinated and decaffeinated beans. And sustainability, certainly I have been harping on this point. The sustainability coffee is the second highest rate of carbon emissions after chocolate. Friends, this has to be kept in mind. Because greenhouse gas emission is a major issue, and agriculture is also, though not a major, is also an important emitter of GHG. And when coming into coffee, we have two things. One is it produces, just to produce 1 kg of green 1 kg of green coffee, the emission level is 17 kg. Then coffee is also other thing as a high carbon footprint due to deforestation, etc. We argue saying that we have shed trees, etc. But still we clear the forest, we clear the undergrowth, we disturb the soil microflora, etc. So totally, we cannot say that the flora and the fauna is not disturbed. But since we maintain a lot of shade trees, to that extent we can see, but we can see that we can have eco-friendly practices. So the sustainability is key, and will need to merge, because still in India coffee is grown under shade. We'll have to make use of this. The sustainability element has to be built with the taste, etc. And we should earn more premium. Then during the pandemic era, at home coffee consumption, the coffee consumption showed a lot of increase. This is based on some study. But this consumption is, they wanted cafe-style products. They wanted cafe-style products, freeze-dried instant coffee, coffee mixes, ready-to-drink products, pods, coffee pods, concentrates, etc. So what I just want to say is, during the pandemic, the consumption of coffee levels increased, and also the product developments also took place. They're different because they are not just looking for only filter coffee or just put an instant coffee and have it. This kind of, because they wanted different kind of taste preference, etc. Then there are now the novel techniques to preserve complex flavor profile in ready to drink coffee, and that has to be exploited. Opportunities in the coffee market. One is demand from new markets, Asia and Eastern Europe, and the rising income and change in lifestyle, and India is no exception. Product innovation, experiment new flavors, formats, brewing and roasting methods. This is one thing for entrepreneurs. Specialty coffee I mentioned. The functional benefits we have seen. Well, there are lots of debate going on, which has shown that coffee is health positive drink. But some more has to be built in, saying that coffee is a nutritional drink. This has to happen because the nutritional products are marketed in a different manner as compared to the drugs. So the functional benefits of the coffee has to be exploited by the entrepreneurs. Then the tech driven distribution is very key nowadays, because people want quick service, they want instant service, etc. Numerous touch points, apps, to subscription to service home, and most of them, many of them, they want it home. And you have seen half an hour service, 20-minute service. You know, this kind of tech-driven distribution for coffee products has to be seen. Then sustainable offerings I mentioned about this, like that is eco-friendly and ethical issues. Challenges facing the coffee market, that is, of course, increased competition. Certainly, there are, you name any multinational company it is there in India, as far as the procurement of the coffee, etc., is concerned. They are not in a big way for for the for promoting consumption or retailing of coffee. Most of the coffee is what you produce, because nearly in India, whatever you produce, nearly 80% of the coffee is exported. So my major multinational companies are operating. They procure the coffee, but it's all exported. But the kind of coffee consumption, domestic consumption, is not high, and some of them are entering. We have seen Nestle is a big player, Tata Coffee is a big player, then Continental Coffee is a big player, and even at a smaller level, Arasu Coffee is an important player. Like this, many players are there. So increased competition is emerging. Then the climate change is real, and we have seen the coffee this year only. You take, for example, we had drought till May 15. From May 15 to July, you see the quantum of rainfall received. And also there is a perceptible shift in the rainfall pattern. The total rainfall may not have changed, but the perceptible shift in the rainfall, because the occurrence of the monsoon, the peak monsoon, the post monsoon, etc., have changed. Similarly, this also has seen in terms of change in temperature. For example, the temperature this year reached very high. For instance, when I talk about the temperature, it is not merely the maximum temperature, and the minimum temperature. What the word used is the diurnal temperature. That means the difference between this is very important. The physiological condition of the plant, gets affected when this diurnal temperature, the range or the difference is high. And the price fluctuation is seen in almost all commodities, and coffee is the one where the price fluctuation is very high. This year itself, you see the prices. It started from 6,400 rupees for Robusta. It has crossed 10,000 rupees for one bag of 50 kg Robusta. Price fluctuation. We will have to, only thing is, as growers, as entrepreneurs doing coffee business, we'll have to keep this price fluctuation in mind, because it will affect the margin to a great extent. Price mitigations to price fluctuations, and there are where the futures operating in the futures market, etc. And then many of the things can be thought. The getting into contracts, etc. Then of course the ethical considerations is a part of any business, and ethical considerations should be given a lot of importance. Then of course, friends, I just since I was a part of the Tata Group for about 8 to 10 years, I just want to point out the success story of the Tata Group. Tata is a big company in which we have 24,000 acres under coffee and tea. I just want to, if you see the coffee financial performance, kind of the major products I particularly put 21, 22, and 2021, not the recent one, because now it is merged with Tata Consumer Products, so you don't get the figure that easily. You see the coffee, you see the pepper, the kind of turnovers we make. Then coffee is the major one. 212 crores. The tea, the instant coffee, you have seen that the product basket has changed over the years. For example, now the earnings from instant coffee is much higher, and the roast and the ground segment, which hitherto was not there, now we are emerging. So what has happened is the product diversification and movement, moving higher into the value chain development, has helped the Tata Coffee to maintain the profit levels. This applies to the coffee business, because you have to operate at a high end of the value chain, and diversification is the mantra. Otherwise, coffee business cannot survive. Well, friends, I come to the end of my presentation. What I say is, there's a boom and doom time for coffee, and this is a boom time for coffee. There are a lot of doom time. If you take 2 years back, that's a real doom time. Then the lots of opportunities for coffee entrepreneurs, but challenges do exist. Suddenly, any business has challenge, any business has risk, but you'll have to take a calculated risk. Innovative products and processes are key in meeting the emerging demand. It's a very vibrant market. And, for example, what is happening elsewhere in the Europe, etc., that kind of mirroring effect, there is some lag period. It happens in developing countries, particularly in a country like in India. It takes some time. So what happens elsewhere, all the kind of new products, etc., seen elsewhere will come to India, maybe with a 1 or 2 years lag. So certainly innovative product and processes happening elsewhere will have to happen in India also. The market creation, market expansion, and market sustainability are the key drivers. Market should be in your mind, for any entrepreneur. Do not start a business without a market plan and strategy, which I very emphatic. Then if you are up to date with the latest trends, finding success in the coffee market is not difficult, as there is enough space, particularly in the Indian context. I would say there's enough space for for many of the market activities or many of the for entrepreneurs in coffee business. So I close. I just said, this is a filter coffee of the Tata Coffee. This is a cold coffee of the Tata Coffee. This is a 3-in-1 of Nescafe, etc. Now, what I said is the product portfolio is changing as per the consumer demand, and this has to happen. And the prime movers will get the advantage of the niche market. Thank you, friends, and I am sure many of you are looking for coffee enterprises, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session. Now the entire session is open for discussion. You can raise your hands one by one, and I will be unmuting, and you can ask the questions directly.
Yeah, there were some questions I saw. Sarabhi Monti, thank you so much, sir. I may connect with you. You have taken it away. Yeah. Lower the hand. Some people raise some questions. Now it's missing. Rubia.
Sir, is there any way to connect with you for any guidance?
I've given my email, or you can take my mobile number, which is with Rubia. I am most, or else you can note it right down. You can talk to me. I can share my experience with you.
Yes, sir, because we are also growers, so I thought it will be very helpful.
I'll be too happy. Because this is a for me it's a paying back time.
Sir, where do I find your number, sir?
Rubia, you can take it down right now. 9980418210.
Sir, can you repeat?
Just a bit
Sir, we
slow.
can.
9980
41 82 10.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And sir, the presentation we just saw. So, are we going to get this PDF on the mail or something?
Yes, Rubia will take care of it. Otherwise, my email is there. I can send it to you also.
So we will be sharing it via email to all the participants, sir.
Great, Rubia.
Yes.
And so
I'll
last
be very
question
happy,
is,
friends, I'll be very happy. I've spent a lot of time in preparing for this. You'll understand this. I was trying to put my experience wherever possible.
and so the last question is, how can I?
Yeah. So in the one of the slides you have mentioned that the coffee market size in India in 2022 it is US dollars 478 millions.
Yes.
Right, and by 2032 it will reach about 1,227. But looking at the current scenario, you told in 2022 it is 478 million. That means it is less than $1 billion US dollars, the market size of India?
No, actually, if you take the right now, yes. Yes.
So it is less than 1 billion US dollars at present.
Yeah, I'm talking about the domestic market.
Okay, domestic market.
Yes.
Sir,
Because
I want
you
to
see
start.
you see the logic. You see, for example, we produce say 2.5 lakh tons of coffee. About 84% of the coffee is exported. Okay.
Okay.
So the remaining around 15 to 60% of the value of the coffee is how much, and the import of the coffee is total import is not more than 12,000 tons, right?
So this market size includes all the, you mean to say, domestic consumption, various retail chains,
total
cafe shops, including cafe shops like Starbucks, Cafe Coffee.
Yes. Because the consumer base is small in India still. Yeah, any problem?
No, sir, please continue.
Yeah. No. Any question can be.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Am I audible?
Yes, I have a question.
Even I have a question, sir.
Please, Kritika,
Krutar,
Yes.
yes, sir. I'm from Coorg, sir. I have my parents own a coffee estate. It's been about 3 generations. What the current trend I have been seeing in coffee estates is people are diversifying their produce to avocado as well. And most of them are even changing to organic methods of farming. So when we are speaking about increasing productivity of our land or increasing the production of coffee with whatever land we have, do you think it is the perfect time for coffee estates to switch to something organic and more sustainable for the environment?
Well, the answer is simple. In any business, we need to have some kind of a diversification. When we say the maximum diversification is when we talk about a diversification farming, we think about 10% of the income at least should come for diversification. This is as an insurance against, let us keep in mind something happens for like the coffee rust happened in Sri Lanka, wiped out the whole industry. At least to mitigate to some level, you must have diversification. And second thing is, to maintain your income level at certain level, because once you plant coffee, you cannot do anything for the next 45, 50 years. You're struck, right? So, yes, some kind of, you see, for example, in Tata Coffee, etc., I'm boldly telling, I was the one who convinced the board that we must move into a, I use the specific word, keep it in mind, to call it, high value crop compared to the, coffee robusta, etc., if you take, what happens is we'll have to move into high value crop. Another thing is, this diversification should take care of the risk mitigation strategy.
May I raise a question? May I raise a question, sir?
Yeah, Thomas.
So I am from Kerala. So may I have the printed notes of the classes you have conducted? Second question, I want to know more about the instant coffee production. And third, may I have your mobile number so that I am able to clarify my doubts in future?
Yeah. See, for example, Thomas, I just want to mention to you, this is see, for example, this instant coffee is a big game in the market, and is fully dominated by the big players. Suddenly, you can think of big and doing it.
Sir, I have a quick question. Hello?
Yeah, please, madam.
Yes. So my question is that we are into retailing in Maharashtra, which is not a coffee dominant state. But where are the older traders who are there? the prices, or somebody they are selling at a price which is not usually even affordable for the planters. But because this rate is easily available, the cafe owners or the coffee chains, they go for the lower grade kind of coffee. And then when we are trying to educate them, we find a lot of resistance from the customers as well. And the timeline where we can earn our own return on investment, that becomes a very long period. So are there any regulations around it, that this is the minimum pricing that needs to be sold? Are there anything like that? How can we deal with such kind of a situation?
There is no regulation because, for example, first of all, you are talking about operating at the retail level, and that too, you are talking about the roasted ground coffee. And, this roasted ground, see, for example, I'll put a simple question. We don't know how much Robusta, how much Arabica it has, how much blacks, browns, bits it has, etc. So certainly the roasted ground, the farm, FORM, the farm of the coffee is lost. So as such, the interventions cannot be really too much. It is only, for example, people will have to really organize. The people will realize that the money they pay for the coffee is really of value. That is why you see the coffee consumption. See why chai is picking up. Chai is easy to make. Chai, you cannot really make out the quality immediately. Coffee, people think the coffee taste, and also in India the major problem is coffee is mixed with chicory. People have lost the taste for coffee. All these problems aggravate your problem of selling a quality coffee. For example, chicory is much cheaper, right?
True.
So what happens is, if you really want to sell quality coffee, it will happen in the long run, but the targeted population has to be, I made it clear, it should be young, educated. For example, if you can do it in campuses, or you can do it in the working places, or you can, since you are interested in the trade, you can really think how to touch more people in their homes.
Okay.
That there you don't face so much competition with right kind of apps, etc. You can touch more number of people directly. That will help in this kind of situation. Otherwise, it will not, because people are used to chicory with that bitter taste for the chicory. They think that is the coffee taste. So
absolutely, that is the problem that we are facing
sir,
right
can
now.
I ask the question now?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, can I ask?
Yeah, please.
Sir, actually, I am from Raipur, Chhattisgarh, and I want to start roastery here. But I have no any connection with the planters who can provide me green coffees from the different states. So, sir, how can I get a list of those suppliers, and how can I connect them?
See, the best thing for you is, the first level is not the growers. The first level is you can contact the curing works. Kushal Nagar has 40 curing works. Okay, coffee curing works.
Okay.
They are also the exporters of coffee. Some of them are also, are involved in the domestic this thing. But from them you can get immediately your requirements. Otherwise, the list of the coffee growers is easily available with the coffee board. At least, coffee board has a good network even in the production centers. And coffee, for example, the forget there are what you call as the hulling units. They just, the cherry coffee, they remove the husk. We have the coffee beans. That's what you want. There are, people who provide this also, because there are so many hulling units. Through them also you can get your coffee requirements. But for you, you go for, you must talk to some good roast and ground people. What should be your combination? What is your blend? You will have to really decide. And you can certainly get coffee from the growers. That's not a difficult thing. But you decide first, what kind of blend you must have. More Arabica, Robusta, And in that.
Sir, yeah, I am totally into specialty coffee. I have, done the blend, blend parts is already been done, and the profiles, already been set. Yeah, but I just want to know, I just want to get like raw materials right now.
Yeah, it's not difficult. The Rubia will help you out because we have in the coffee board, we have network in the growing centers. Good network. There are even at the grassroots level, there are junior license officers who can provide you good growers.
Okay, sir. So, sir, I have your number. I'll connect you, and
yes.
then you can provide me the details, right?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Done.
Mr. Nitin, you can also contact Coffee Board for more details on the growers part.
Ma'am, to whom in Coffee Board?
So you can directly visit Coffee Board, or else you can write us an email and we will connect you with the right person to contact.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, the coffee board also conducts the auctions. You can attend those auctions.
Yes, we do.
Okay, definitely, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Sir, hello. Sir, Karthik here, sir.
Yeah, please.
Karthik here. Vishwanath son. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir, can you hear me? Yes. Yeah. Coffee Board with the help of the Atal Incubation Centre. I heard that they're starting this one for this one women's self-help groups. They're starting a cafes in like 2 tier cities like districts and taluks and all. I think that's a very good option to encash the domestic market and to promote the coffee in the domestic sector.
You're right. Coffee Incubation Center is doing a very good job. Many entrepreneurs have already emerged. I think, even if the women groups, etc., it's better they get trained, etc.,
Yeah, small cafes and coffee shops, so that the millennials, as I said, that millennials and Gen Z people, along with the local people, will be promoted this one for the to drink coffee, especially in 2 tier cities and all. Yeah,
the right thinking.
It's a very good program. Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That was it.
Sir, I'm Sharath here. I'm a third generation entrepreneur based in Bangalore. I have a roasting and grinding unit, and we have been operating from past 57, 60 years from now till now.
Okay, Sharath.
So we have already achieved a good number of domestic sales in roast and ground. So I need more inputs about the instant coffee. Since you have projected the instant coffee, there is a boom in the market, and there is a lot of demand as well. And I also get a lot of inquiries for instant coffee. I directly say them we don't deal in instant coffees. From that stage, I want to go to the next one saying, yes, I do deal in instant.
Yeah, Sharath, my quick answer is I will put you to the Tata Coffee, our instant, the Vice President, Mr. Reddy. We do have, for example, the in-house branding. For example, we do encourage people. For you, we can tailor-made. Even the packaging is done so that you can sell it. But for you to start an instant unit, I don't advise. But you can make use of the existing this thing, and you can expand your business to instant coffee.
Hello.
Hello. Is it fine?
मेरी वो कुछ बात हुई है तो मेरे को ये इस बार का कितना टाइम हो जाएगा अपना मैं वो एक बार वीडियो को ये लेके बात कराऊंगा उससे
बताइए नितिन. I can speak in Hindi. बताइए नितिन. Nitin? Sharath, is it okay?
Yes, sir. I got your point.
Yeah. See, for example, we have a unit in Theni, we have a unit in Tufran. For example, we do cater this kind of need. For example, you'll say, you want instant spray dried instant so much. This kind of packs, etc. We work out. We encourage this. Okay, but below will indicate saying that it's manufactured at the Theni unit of this thing. This kind of arrangement is there. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear, but some more hands are there raising. Roy is raised. Sharath is finished, I think.
So, Miss Yuva Kritika, you can ask your question.
Yes. So we are majorly concentrating on this thing, right? Innovation, processing, and development of coffee sector. But my question is, I have done my internship at Central Coffee Research Institute. So I have done at post-harvest technology sector. So there are many byproducts like spent coffee grounds and coffee husk or wasting in such a large quantity. So is there any opportunity to utilize those things, sir?
Yeah, I would say still, the byproduct utilization is at a very, in a very, preliminary level or a pilot level, unless commercialized kind of things are really not happening. For example, coffee husk, once we try to put them into, briquettes, convert them into briquettes, but that did not succeed because these briquettes have demand for tobacco curing in Hunsur, Piriyapatna, etc. Such kind of things we have tried, not the extractions. We are a different kind of company, because unless it's a commercial one, we don't get into that. That's a different kind of. It's possible, but right now we don't have any commercialized products of that kind.
Yeah, hello, sir. Hello, sir. Myself, Roy.
Yeah, please.
Sir, we are from Kerala. We are an organic spices exporter. Think about around 25 years. We have around 2,500 farmers in this mixed farming unit. So we need to like to start a coffee business in exporting also and in domestic market. So that can we get any industrial visit in your organization or something? Can we get some industrial visit to learn about this?
Certainly you can, the best thing is for you to visit the Tata Coffee, you can write a letter to them, they will arrange, that's not a problem. You can indicate, for example, we help this kind of activities. In fact, Tata Coffee helps these small groups, etc. For example, there is a farmer producer company in the Gonikoppa. They are keeping their coffee in our warehouse, in our curing works in Kushal Nagar, and as and when they require, we convert them into bean and they make use of that. So that kind of facility we are extending to the small growers. This is the farmer producer companies of the small growers. This is a Puttari farmer producer company. We are helping them. That kind of model can be there. But I can talk to the MD and see that it can be arranged.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I will contact you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. It's me again. So I just I've been noticing from the past days. I've been visiting the Instagram profile of the coffee board as well. So what I got to know from there is that the coffee board has started their own branding called India Coffee. So they're roasting and they're yeah, I was very happy to know about that. But I wanted to ask you about that. Is that sourced from third parties, or does the coffee board roast and blend it themselves?
No, they get it from the third party. Coffee board earlier had its own curing works and this kind of facilities. No longer coffee board has that kind of facilities. They outsource it and get it.
Okay, they get their coffee powders from elsewhere. They just pack it and resell.
No, to add to that, I think I can answer this question. So we have our own roasting and grinding unit here at Coffee Board head office. So
Okay.
we procure the green beans, so we get it roasted here at our facility. We have the roasting unit and we grind it fresh and then we sell it in the brand name of India Coffee and Coffees of India.
That's good.
Okay. I wanted to know if there are any internship opportunities at the coffee board.
Yes, we do have internship opportunities. At Atal Incubation Centre, will be announcing it, and whenever there is an vacancy, you can learn about it in the last session, last day of this particular series. Well, we have an entire separate session by the CEO of Atal Incubation Centre himself. He will be telling you more about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
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 Yes, madam.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for your presentation, sir. Very informative.
Thank you.
I wanted to actually ask whether all the plantations that are there in the south, in Coorg and other places, do they sell directly to buyers or do we have to go through the coffee board?
No, no. See, for example, you ask me, madam, I am a coffee grower. I'll tell my experience. Either I sell it locally. There are so many buyers locally who are the agents of exporters. So, or there are aggregators. I sell it when I urgently need money. I sell it to those local thing, or else I keep my coffee in Tata Coffee or Net Commodities, etc. I sell as and when required. So no need to sell coffee to coffee board. Coffee board organizes a small scale auctions. So there will be people who ask some question. You can buy the coffee from there in the small quantity. No need to sell coffee now. Earlier it was there. It is not there. We don't sell single bean of coffee to to coffee board.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And if we were supposing we want to come up with our own specialty blend, where would be a good place to start for that?
No, you have to decide, because I would say, these blends, etc. These are all customer built, and you will have to assess. For example, normally, for any coffee, for example, the South Indian market is the best.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir. This is VK. Can you hear me?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, hi. I have a question about specialty coffee again. Like, is there any statistics available for specialty coffee imported from, imported to India, like Colombian or Kenyan coffee? Is there any, how big is the market? I mean, is there any figure available anywhere about that?
Certainly, Coffee Board will certainly have. They have an export wing. They maintain the data for the export as well as the imports. Dr. Reddy is in charge of that.
Okay.
Because everything imports and exports, Coffee Board maintains the record. Okay.
Okay. And one more question, I mean, this is more business related than coffee probably, is that are there any exporters in India like who just do reselling of, imported coffee and sell it to, maybe buy it from Vietnam and sell it to Europe? Right. Is that like a business model?
Yeah, but it's normally not, because there are a lot of procedures involved for the imports and the re-export. Because, for example, we do it, the Tata Coffee, we do it because we get coffee at a cheaper rate. We do it on our own from Vietnam. Not many do it, because others don't need it. For example, now Continental Prasad is there. They don't need it. Okay.
Sir, what does exactly
so much,
specialty coffee mean? Does it depend on the grade of the coffee or single estate origin? What does it exactly mean?
Now, what I said is, see, for example, you will have to, as I indicated, you have to prepare a good document. Any coffee can be converted to a specialty under the given certain conditions. So you'll have to really, you'll have to see, for example, what is specialty? You are creating a uniqueness, right?
Yes, sir. Right.
So that is why you'll have to create a uniqueness. You have grown it at a higher altitude. You are grown it in a certain area where the biodiversity and conservation is high. Certain. That's why I said it's all specialty coffees. Should I create a distinct coffee in the eyes of the consumer? The consumer should feel he's drinking a different coffee.
Right, sir. But does the coffee board or any authority certify it as unique or specialty coffee, or is it just market in that way?
No, there are people who certify this.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And one more question. I'm sorry if somebody's in the queue. Just quick question. Do you see an uptick in specialty versus instant? Like, is there more uptick in specialty, or instant is more, upcoming in terms of market share?
Yeah, see, for example, the specialty coffee is a premium coffee. We'll have to see the market segment. It's a premium coffee. This specialty coffee is certainly on the increase. There's no second. thinking as compared to the regular coffee. Okay.
Hello, sir. This is Rohit here.
Yeah, Rohit.
So there are a lot of instant coffees out there right now, sir. Okay, not just Nescafe, then Continental, then there is Davidoff as well, sir. Then there is Bevzilla. There are a lot of instant coffee, sir. So how can we know which instant coffee is good, sir? So this is my question. Like for the coffee, like there are specialty coffee. We have they are processed and harvested. So how can instant coffee be known whether it is a good or it is a bad one? So like Davidoff is sold for 650 per 100 grams. Okay, sir. At the same time, the Nescafe is cheaper, sir. So which instant coffee to judge, sir? Like even Tata has instant coffee. So how to judge the instant coffee, sir? That's my question.
See, for example, instant coffee is prepared by 3-4 methods: spray dried, egg glow, etc. See, for example, spray dried is the most advanced and the preferred one in the market. Okay. As compared to the others. So certainly, from the product description, you know it. Otherwise, they brand it based on those traits. And we cannot say which one is, because this is a process by which the coffee is prepared, which process is superior, which process is inferior, is decided by the process. As I indicated, I can simply say one spray dried is the best in the market. And all the advertisement centers around that.
Okay. So, but we have no idea which mechanism is used to make that instant coffee. Like even if we visit websites and all, we don't have any idea.
The process is well known. It is available in the public domain.
Okay.
Yes, it is. See, after all, these are all these are all extractions. And this extraction is dictated by a process. And which is the superior process of extraction that determines that coffee.
Got it.
Spray dried as on day, spray dried instant coffee is the best or most preferred in the market.
Yes, sir.
And even there may be another thing. There may be a blend of this also, because that's a higher cost. Even there also you can think about the blend. And also nowadays you have seen 3-in-1 coffee. That means coffee, sugar and the milk 3-in-1. All these are products, mostly driven by the instant coffee. You see, these are ready to drink coffee. And the process determines the premium.
Got it, sir. The process determines the premiumness. Okay, sir. And one more question, sir. Attend the I'm a barista now, according to the training program which I have done. So now I want to learn about the roasting thing. So how can we start learning about roasting through Coffee Board of India, sir? Are there any ways we can learn?
They have a good course there. They have a course.
Okay.
The one thing is, if you have if you have already have some idea, etc. One thing is the incubation center. The second is if you want to study, they have a 6 months course, 2 months course, short course, etc. on this kind of this thing. Coffee Board has done a wonderful job now.
Okay, got it, sir. I'll.
Yes.
What was the name?
Yes, Mr.
Arifa,
Rohit.
I guess, right, sir?
This is Rubia
Yeah.
from Coffee Board. So to answer your question, we have a
Yeah,
one year diploma course in coffee quality management, which will be running on a continuous basis. It is a 1 year course with hands-on training. And not just that, we will be having different sessions like Kapi Shastra from Coffee Board of India, barista skill training programs across India. And we also have training programs from the Atal Incubation Centre. We will be listing out during the last day of this entire online series about all the courses. Okay.
Rohit sir, you may plan a visit in Coffee Board. You may get more schemes and subsidies. Have a look on Coffee Board in Bangalore. That is better, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. I'm Arifa, and thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. I have a query. What kind of certification is required basically for a coffee business, actually? Can you please quote some examples on compliances and certification? Please, thank you.
I think the coffee is better. Coffee Board answers this. I don't have much idea.
All right, thank you. Anyone from Coffee Board?
Yes, Ms. Arifa, you can get a clear answer for this particular question on the last day. We have an in-house resource person, Dr. Babu Reddy sir. He will be giving you a perfect answer for this.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah. So I guess we are reaching the end of the session now.
Okay, thank you.
It is.
Sir, sorry. Sir, I have one question.
Yes,
Do
yes.
you prefer your coffee? Do you prefer your coffee with chicory or without?
No, actually, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India as prescription. See, the chicory is allowed, in coffee, but it should not cross certain limits. But chicory, changes the taste of the coffee. There is no doubt. It changes the body of the coffee. It changes the taste of the coffee. It changes the acidity of the coffee and the form of the coffee. Otherwise, in the West, coffee chicory is looked as an adult and they don't use
Yeah, it
chicory
is.
coffee.
Yes, sir. So, but do you prefer it with, because I'm from South India, and as far as I've seen in South India, we prefer it with the chicory.
Yes, that is
Or
the
if you
consumer
don't get
taste has
the,
built.
yes.
Because the coffee is very, very expensive, so they put more chicory so that the cost of the coffee comes down.
Okay, sir. I just wanted to know, what do you prefer it with chicory or without? Like, do you the
No,
blend, the 80-20 blend,
for
or
example, a good coffee is better without chicory.
without chicory? Is it? Okay,
Yes,
thank you, sir.
exactly. And Coffee Board, of course, promotes 100% coffee.
Yeah.
Given the perfect blend, perfect bean with your preferred roasting profile, and also the grind size and the manual brewing equipment that you use. See, coffee is an art and science in itself, and you have to, in order to get a perfect brew, you have to trial and error method. You have to experiment with it, and only then you can enjoy a really good cup of coffee, which is 100% without any chicory mix.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
So
with
I
that
thank
said,
all the participants. I thank all the participants. I enjoyed the session. Certainly, if you have any query, I've given my email and mobile number has been shared by you. Please contact me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rubia. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
thank you so much, sir, for
Thank
such
you
a
so much, sir.
informative session. Tomorrow we have
Thank you.
we have two resource persons from the coffee industry itself who will be talking about the innovations in coffee, both beverage and non-beverage coffee products, followed by a person who will explain you the entirety about coffee shop management. What are the different types of coffee shops, how to manage a particular coffee shops. There will be a case study. So with that said, I thank Dr. Changappa sir for conducting such an interactive session starting from the basics of entrepreneurship to diving deep into the coffee market. So yeah, somebody is raising hand.
Just last question, sir. Just last question. Sir,
Please.
which instant coffee will you suggest me to suggest my colleagues or my people, sir?
What is it?
If people ask me, so like I'm a barista now, okay, so if someone asks me which instant coffee I should go for, like there are David of, so earlier I used to tell people David of पी ले क्योंकि महंगा है तो बहुत अच्छा होगा, but sir there are people who can't afford, who won't pay 650 rupees for 100 grams of coffee, so which instant coffee I should suggest them rather than David of, sir,
No,
according to
you
you,
see,
sir?
no, even in the instant coffee with the blends, for example, instant coffee, you may say we are paying 400, 500 rupees for a 200 gram or a 200, but the number of coffee, the cup of coffee prepared is much higher. So the per cup is not that high.
Okay.
Because it's a concentrate, no?
Yeah, it's a concentrate, sir.
Yeah, if you really look at it, per cup it is not that high. You need not have put very high, this thing. This is an extract. That's why.
I have a question as well before we end, if you have another minute, sir.
Yeah.
So I am from Delhi, and coffee is a part of an experience that we do as part of a different business. My question is, earlier in this presentation, towards the beginning, you mentioned, and then a couple of other statements were also there about the rise of instant coffee. You said the market is heading towards instant. Now, this is directly in contrast to what we are seeing at the higher end of the market today. So is there a demographic split in what you've mentioned? Is there a regional split in terms of real coffee and instant being instant growing? Maybe it's growing in certain demographies, maybe it's growing in certain regions. But because what we see is more of a trend towards good coffee and more of a trend towards specialty coffee. And this is borne out not just by, I mean, I have no market data. So I would like to know what is the data that is supporting this conclusion that the market wants to go towards instant coffee.
No, Nakul, you asked a good question. As my answer is, for example, this older generation, etc. We are all, especially in the South India particularly, we are used to the filter coffee. You would certainly prefer the filter coffee, okay? Right. The coffee, and still in a typical home in Chennai, they themselves roast a few beans, they convert it to powder, and they prepare coffee. That's a fantastic coffee. But with the changing generation, with the changing demography, the younger people, they want ready to serve coffee. They want quick one. They want a different ambience. So that is why these products, Nestle and etc. They internationally they have come out this kind of products, which can be done within no minute. You can prepare a coffee, and added to this 2-in-1, 3-in-1, and these add-ons have come. So what has happened is this the food sector is more looked at even if you see TFS or Horeca, etc. It's more of the food sector is driven by younger population, and whose preferences are different, and those who the older population, the preferences are different. See, certainly even today, those who are used to for the filter coffee, they will love to have it. But the younger population is different. The consumer tastes are moving towards that. So the mass consumers are towards that.
So, sir, I would like to further, maybe a follow-on question here. So I agree with you in principle when you say that the traditional coffee drinking areas, which is predominantly the South, are used to what we call filter coffee, right? And most of it has been adulterated with chicory because of economic reasons. And there is a certain taste profile that has developed over the last 50, 60 years that it has been predominant, or even longer, I guess. But as of today, as that population ages out and the spending habits of a newer generation starts to take a larger market share, is there not, or do you not, from the actual market data, because you have access to it, we don't, is there not a bigger shift towards a higher quality, less adulterated coffee? Do
No,
you not
certainly. See, if you look at the specialty, the demand for specialty coffee, etc. See, for example, in any market, this niche market segment is what, maximum 5%.
Absolutely.
And
I mean,
this
I can't comment on the percentage, but I'm sure it's very low.
you know, even for a organic food, you have seen in the food sector, even for an organic food, due to many reasons, not only the price, due to many other reasons, the organic food is not more than 2%. The highest is, you know, fruits and vegetables, etc. The highest is 2% or 3%. So in any market, this kind of niche market segment exists, and this will continue. This will continue. But I'm talking about the mass market. Mass market is driven by this.
But so are there any stats showing that there is a steady increase in the amount of instant versus real coffee consumption? Is there?
See, for example, you know, Nakul, the major thing is because in India only we use this cream or the milk, etc. In the other parts of the world, for them black coffee either from beans or this, they don't make much differentiation. So the consumer preferences, the consumers have accepted this, and moreover, imagine, see, for example, in this chicory, this instant coffee is without chicory. You know, that is an important factor.
Right. But we don't really have any stats as such, right? Do we have market?
That's why I told you, in the Indian context, we don't have a consumer profile, consumer preference, etc.
Understood, sir. That answers my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Rubia.
Yes, sir. So the time is up. We are actually past 10 minutes already. So yeah, thank you so much for such an interactive session, and we hope that we conduct more such sessions, more such informative sessions in the future as well. Thank you so much for collaboration, and I also would like to thank all the participants for being so interactive, asking so many questions. I hope you have this urge to learn more about coffee sector, and in the coming 2 days we will try to touch upon more specific into the coffee industry. And yes, I also would like to thank Atal Incubation Centre for providing the technical assistance. So yeah, thank you and have a nice day, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. And please make sure for tomorrow there is a different link that has been shared for each day, and make sure you click on the specific link for that particular day to access the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.